This is actually looking at USDT dominance. I didn't know USDT had a dominance, but I guess it makes sense because USDT always gets minted more. And if you look at the overall market value versus USDT value, there is a dominance. Okay, you could chart it and you can see the dominance is starting to break. But we do have an enormous amount of USDT. You look at it, they're sitting at number 3, 104 billion. Why do you think there's 104 billion in Tether? Well, people obviously have switched fiat to Tether so that they can buy crypto with it, right? So we got $100 billion plus sitting there waiting to enter the market. This is not even about conversion. It's already here. It's already in the market waiting for people to buy. And we're seeing a lot of narratives happen, right, that I've been talking about. We've been seeing a lot of alts and memes go up. A lot of it is due to obviously due to USDT, the stable coins on the sidelines, but there are so much more on the sidelines waiting to enter. This cycle is going to be unlike any other cycle in previous history. This may be the biggest cycle we have ever seen in our lifetime. Think about that. And I've seen a lot of cycles almost going back all the way to the beginning. And this one could be more explosive than all of them. For not only Bitcoin, but for alts. I mean, it's for everything. So that's absolutely fantastic. Just a few other crypto news. Totally of Solana is very bullish about SolMail, and he tweeted out this where now you could send emails directly on Solana's blockchain. I don't know how impressive that is. I'm thinking others can already do this, but SolMail shot up to the moon after and totally tweeted about it. So good for them. And they have a Sol chat too that people's been asking about. So there's a lot of like mini utility dApps or whatever. Not really excited about those things. I did also see this. There's another L2 called Blast that no one's talking about, but they have incredible TVL. They've been rising up really fast. And the funny thing is, it's all due to this one game called Crypto Valleys. And it's all pixelated. It looks exactly like DeFi Kingdoms. This is exactly what DeFi Kingdoms did when they existed on Harmony, right? They were the biggest DEX on Harmony, brought in a lot of volume, and it seems like it's happening again with Blast. Kind of interesting. But again, I don't think a lot of people concentrate on Blast. I don't either, but they are definitely a rising star in the L2 space right now. So that's pretty good. And then lastly, some people mentioned this yesterday. The SEC is seeking a $2 billion fine against Ripple. This may be the final straw, okay? We know that they had a lot of lawsuits against XRP and Ripple and the founders. The founders were found not guilty. XRP was found a non-security. So this last one is in relations to their ICO of XRP. Right. So $2 billion fine, which is enormous. Ripple does not want to pay it. They'll probably settle somewhere in between. But if they get rid of this and they settle, then that's it. There's no more lawsuits against Ripple or its founders or against XRP. This is big. This is very, very big. And to be quite frank, Ripple can pay $2 billion. They have more than enough money to pay this. This is like chump change to them. But it's the principle of it. They don't want to lose any ground against the SEC. No one wants to lose against the SEC. And you got to give Ripple props because they did defend them with I forgot what the legal costs were, $200 million or something. And they won a lot for not only themselves and crypto. Well, this is the final battle here. So we'll see. If they win, this could be also a very good catalyst for the entire market, not just Ripple. There's another narrative coming out from Blackrock. Well, at least they're trying to lead the way. BlackRock said that they're launching a $100 million tokenized asset fund. This was on Friday last week, I think. But basically, it's called Buildo. Okay, and with it, they can tokenize assets, and they're pegging it to $1. Okay, so that they want to get into tokenizing funds. So they're going to try to lead the way with that. Okay. I'm not such a fan of this. I'm not a fan of tokenizing treasury bills or bonds or, giving yield or whatever, because it seems like it's a banker thing. But you can't ignore someone like Blackrock that's throwing $100 million at this. And there are a lot of other projects that are involved with this that are doing absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. By the way, before I get to the project, Coinbase is also chosen as a key infrastructure partner for BlackRock and securitized tokenized investment fund. Well, that's no surprise. Of course, Coinbase gets everything. And BlackRock is a big shareholder of Coinbase. But anyways, going back to it, real world assets, there's a 7.2 billion market cap with all the projects that are involved with tokenizing. The biggest one led by Ondo. They are absolutely huge. Okay, they do have a USDY, which is a tokenized U.S. Treasury. It's just a tokenized U.S. Treasury. But still, they have done very, very well. People have asked me about Ondo quite a lot. I said it's not my thing. It's a banker's coin, but you can't ignore the gains, right? And it's probably going to continue to do well. And then you know what? Ondo partnered with Aptos. So Aptos is getting involved, right? And then you have Chainlink that's also involved. They really want to tokenize real assets, including treasury bills and bonds and so forth. And Chainlink partnered up with Avalanche to do just that. So you could see all these chains, right? They want to get in the business of tokenizing real world assets, and one after another, they're going to do it, and it could be absolutely huge for these guys, right? They're catering not to retail investors, not that any of us want to buy tokenized short-term, yield or treasury, but the chains that they operate on could see big boosts from it. Could see a huge volume boost. So here's another 10x narrative, especially with some of these projects like Avalanche and Chainlink, right? And then now you got Aptos and Ondo, and there's so many others in this space. Something to pay attention to going forward.